The Strongman Classic returns on the 9th of July and the Giants Live team have just announced the events.
So before we go into it, shall we quickly show, for anyone who hasn't seen it, this quite horrifying promo that we shot with Giants Live. Here it is.
Take 72.
Giants Live is back at the Royal Albert Hall for the Strongman Classic in 2022. Light's terrible. At the Royal Albert Hall with the Strongman Classic in Strongman Classic.
That was rubbish.
Less smiling. It's the Strongman Classic with the Strongman Classic. It's the Strongman Classic. Can we do one from our other side?
Hey guys, we're at the Royal Albert Hall, the home of my last ever competition.
Loz, he's still going.
Oh, sod him, let's get inside.
What about that?
Giants Live Strongman Classic here at the Royal Albert Hall is one of the most prestigious shows of the 2022 calendar. It was an amazing show last year, and what a performance by Uncle Loz.
Look at Laurence go! Come on, Laurence!
And what better way is there than to watch the best strongmen in the world from your own Lozier box? Don't you agree, Lady Liz?
Well, I would agree, but you're right in my way. Please sit.
Who is the world's strongest man?
And you get the best seats in the house.
And a waiter to pander to your every need.
Maybe not your every need.
Gold VIP guests can enjoy a pre-show drinks and chat with the competing athletes and the old strongman legends.
Not that old. So guys, the 9th of July, Strongman finally returns to the Royal Albert Hall. It's going to be an incredible show. Tickets are selling out fast, so make sure you get yours ASAP.
Sorry, Loz, mate. I can do a couple of hours, but we've got some good stuff. Do you want to join in the promo?
In my defence, I did not know I was going to be in the promo until we were on the train. I should have known when Colin offered to pay for us to get training and a hotel. I should have known. But we're on the train, I'm thinking he's in a promo, and then he sends the script. I'm like, what? Oh man, I would have made an effort.
You thought you'd just be behind the scenes all day, didn't you?
I thought I was going to be filming you guys filming a promo. I don't know what I thought was happening, but there we go.
It was good fun. And Colin is always very entertaining.
He's always fun to work with, is our Colin.
And I have to say, last year's Royal Albert Hall was incredible. So if you want to get to a strongman show this year, get yourselves there, especially if you're in that neck of the woods.
Yeah, because there's not many in the south. We've got the
not.
Cardiff show this year, but if you're in the southeast, you're perfectly placed for this competition.
Yeah, Royal Albert Hall, epic venue. You know, the acoustics of the way it works. It was just a really special night. I'm looking forward to going back, and I'm looking forward to letting you guys know the events, because it's a good mix.
Yes. Before we do the event, should we very quickly remind ourselves of the athlete lineup for this competition?
Let's go for it. So first up, and great to see him competing in a full competition, is Iron Bibby. And the interesting thing is there's no world record in this event.
There is no Axel. I was convinced. Well, he said. He said he wanted to go for it at the Royal Albert Hall. Does Bibby know?
I don't know, but I hope he still comes, because I think he's a great athlete. He did so well last year, and unfortunately hurt his bicep, couldn't finish the competition. But I want to see him do a full competition. I'm excited.
Next up, we have one of the strongest masters in the world, Ken McClelland, who's coming over from the USA.
We have another super strong master in Mark Felix returning to the Strongman Classic.
Adam Bishop will be competing in his first UK show since Britain's Strongest Man earlier this year.
This man we just spent quite a bit of time with last weekend. Evan Singleton says he's going to win every single Giants Live show that he does this year. Can he start that off with the Royal Albert Hall?
We're always happy to see this man in competition. It's the Georgian bull, Konstantin Janasha.
Another man we enjoy watching, Alexei Novikov, just won Europe's Strongest Man. Can he continue that and win more Giants Live events this year?
The Scottish Loch Ness Monster, Andy Black, will be making an appearance at this show.
Is that his official name these days?
No, I don't know. Has he got the bulldozer, does he call himself? No, the Loch Ness, surely. Surely, come on.
Andy Loch Ness Black.
It's a wasted opportunity.
And Andy's best buddy is competing, Paul Smith. These two go back and forth. We've seen them in Britain's Strongest Man. We see them in a bigger international now, going head to head. Be interesting to see who comes out on top.
Returning to Giants Live after a couple of years away is Rob Kearney, the world's strongest gay.
And finally, we have Spencer Rimmick, also from the USA, did really well at the OSG last year, and that's how he's got to this competition, wanting to show what he's capable of at this level.
So event number 1 is a dumbbell medley. Now, we think this is the same setup, the exact same setup that they used at last year's Britain's Strongest Man, which would be 5 dumbbells ranging from 80 kilos to 120 kilos. Now, no one got it last year. Were you surprised at that at Britain's Strongest Man?
I wasn't surprised. There's some great presses at Britain's, but no one that really specialises in the dumbbell, whereas this time we have a few dumbbell pressing monsters. Well, Alexei is just incredible. We've seen him do very, very well in dumbbell type events, whether it's medleys, whether it's for reps, whether it's for max. He's exceptionally good on the dumbbell. Evan Singleton, very good at dumbbell as well. Rob Kearney's had some good performances. I think the fact that he uses his better, like he tore his tricep, he uses the other arm of the dumbbell, so it's not such a bad event for him. And Iron Bibby, you know.
You'd expect
You just expect him to press everything.
I can't remember the last time I saw Iron Bibby do a dumbbell,
Do you know what?
if ever.
I haven't. And the dumbbell, I've said this many times, is a lot more technical, a lot more explosive than, you know, requiring brute strength when it comes to shoulder and triceps. So it wouldn't surprise me to see someone like Alexei beat Iron Bibby in this event.
I'm calling it now. I expect Alexei to win the dumbbell, no matter who you put in front of him.
He's so proficient and technically, you know, gifted is the wrong word. He's worked really hard at his technique, and he's very explosive. He just times it all perfectly, well trained, and that can overcome sheer power sometimes. Event number 2 is the Hercules hold. They're calling it the Pillars of Hercules, but it's the Hercules hold.
It's had a makeover.
It's had a makeover and a new look. But you can't really, I mean, there's some guys with really good grip in here. Obviously, Mark Felix, the world record holder.
Although he hasn't won this event the last time or two that he did it. He didn't win it at last year's Royal Albert Hall.
He didn't win it at the Royal Albert Hall, but I think he did the time after that.
Okay.
But he didn't break a record. But Mark Felix is the man when it comes to Hercules hold. And this contest got a lot of guys with really strong grip. So he's going to have to be on form.
Yeah.
And Mark will want to show that he's still got the best grip. Because the likes of, I mean, Paul Smith has a very good grip. But the real guys to look out for, in my opinion, that can challenge Mark are Iron Bibby and Evan Singleton. Evan's grip is exceptional. Iron Bibby's grip is exceptional.
What about Janasha? Janasha must have good grip.
Janasha's grip is decent, but he's not in that kind of level. He's not kind of proved it in competition time and time again. I mean, Paul Smith's grip is actually very good. I just think his hands are a little bit smaller than the really big guys. And I know from personal experience, those handles suit the guys with bigger hands. I have slightly smaller hands compared to those guys, and on that particular bit of kit, I'm not quite as good. On smaller handles or different types of grip events, I've actually beaten them, you know, a couple of times. But from my personal experience using the kit, I think those will be the top 3.
Evan has surprisingly big hands for a T-Rex, to be honest. How big are your hands, Lozzie? So this is a normal woman, 5'7". So you've still got...
They got big chunky hands.
Pretty big hands there,
but Evan's hands are bigger, and then Mark Felix's hands are bigger
even
again.
bigger still, I'll be interested to see how Clem McClellan does on this, because have no idea, you know, he's been competing for a long time, and I hope he won't be offended by me saying that. Old man grip strength is a real thing, isn't it?
Well, it is. I don't know what Ken's grip is like, but...
Calling it now, Ken's going to be great.
I'm going to call Mark, Iron Bibby and Evan Singleton coming out as top 3 on that event.
Safe choice. So the next event is brand new to Giants Live. It's not completely new. So we saw this at the 2020 World's Strongest Man. It's the Farmer's Walk for Distance. And the setup is going to be the same, where they're going to have a drop zone. So they're going to be going back and forth for distance. There's an area at each end where they can put it down to do the turn. But if they put it down anywhere along the course, then they are out. We don't know at the time of recording what the weight is going to be. What do you think it will be? What is a fair weight for this? Like
I think around 150 to 160 is what I would expect. This competition's looking pretty good for Mark Felix.
Although the dumbbell, that dumbbell is better for him than say an axle or a log, because he could zero those, but he won't zero the 80 kilo dumbbell.
He should be able to get the first dumbbell at least, maybe the first 2. So that's better for him in terms of points.
Yeah.
And then he's got 2 of his best events thrown in there. And the next event's not too bad for him as well. And talking of the next event, we are looking at the axle deadlift. 360 kilos. It's the big wheels. It's the nasty one of the 2. They have 2 axles that they use at Giants Live. This one is the harder one. It's just a complete dead weight. I used it last year.
Yeah.
Got 4 reps on it. Was very lucky to get my 4th rep. Used the straps and everything and the energy of the crowd to just will me onto it. It was terrible technique. And
Did a roly-poly over the bar afterwards?
It was awful, but to be quite honest, I wasn't even close to doing anything near that in training. So it was pretty cool to do what I managed to do. We've got Alexei Novikov, who's done very well on this event before. Adam Bishop.
Yeah.
Adam Bishop is a man to watch when it comes to this type of event. And actually, Evan Singleton has got better.
Yeah.
We deadlifted with him the other day. He's looking strong.
Konstantin
Janasha, there's a whole host of big deadlifters in there. I think it could be a real split. This could be, and I don't want to...
The decider almost.
It could be.
Yeah.
I think this is the one for Iron Bibby. I think all the events are good for Iron Bibby, and his deadlift's improved a lot. And actually, this deadlift suits him because he has tremendous leg power, and the leg power helps with the power off the floor because you get no flex whatsoever. This actually suits people that are strong off the floor, so could be good for him. But I would still expect people like Bish,
Evan,
and Konstantin and Alexei to kind of come out on top. Alexei,
he's good at everything.
You kind of watch him warming up on these deadlifts and you think he's not going to get it, and then suddenly he gets 8 reps.
I've never seen a man so miserable as Alexei Novikov putting on a suit.
He suffers for his craft.
He does, he really does. And the final events, no prizes for guessing, it's the Castle Stones. Now, early this year, Giants Live said they were going to use the heavier set for each competition. They chose to change it at Europe's Strongest Man because it was all quite similar movements, wasn't it? It was all testing like some of the events that they had with the deadlift ladder and then the power stairs and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. This is where it gets technical and about bodies and stuff. And I don't know.
It was very posterior chain heavy.
That's it, posterior chain.
But I still think they should have done the heavier set stuff.
I do too, and I hope they keep it for this. I think the only circumstances where they might change it is if people are a little bit battered after World's Strongest Man.
I don't think that's going to be an issue. It's,
It's 2 months later, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 2 months after Worlds, or not quite 2 months after
No.
I don't think that's going to be an issue. If it was before Worlds, I get it.
Yeah.
But now, Worlds will be out of the way, and, the guys will be... I mean, we spoke to Evan. His focus at the moment is Worlds, and a lot of the guys are right now. You look at Tom Stoltman, his focus is Worlds. Once they get Worlds out of the way, that pressure of being at World's Strongest Man relaxes, and they kind of tend to freely compete a little bit more until maybe looking at other really, really heavy shows.
And it depends how they did at Worlds, because if you don't make the final, you want redemption.
Yeah.
If you're an Evan Singleton, it happened to Alexei last year. He didn't make the finals, and then he just went and absolutely blitzed it for the rest of the year. And we knew he would. He'd be like a man possessed.
It's interesting looking at the lineup and looking at the events. I think it's going to be a great battle. I really think Iron Bibby, Evan Singleton, Alexei Novikov, they're the 3 that are standing out for me in terms of these events. But you've got great athletes there. Konstantin Janasha, Adam Bishop. Adam's been really quiet this year, focusing on training hard. Look forward to seeing what kind of shape he's in.
A couple of new faces as well, which is really exciting.
Always good to see new faces. I think Paul Smith deserves this opportunity. Spencer Remick's been working really hard. Rob Kearney is always one as well. Like, he's very easy to kind of
forget
and
in the nicest way possible.
No, he's not forgetful, but in terms of you look at what he's good at.
People don't talk about him, or they say he doesn't belong there, and then he comes 5th at the Arnold's.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his last 2 big shows, the Arnold's and the
Rogue Invitational,
he's done really well in both. He's a very capable strongman, and I often give Mark a bit of criticism for some competitions that he does, but these are great for him.
Yeah, if Mark can stay healthy, I think this is a great set for him.
Mark could do very, very well.
Can you imagine? Mark Felix wins the Royal Albert Hall. The crowd goes wild.
I think we'd all go wild. I just can't see it happening.
I hope Mark does well.
I'm sure he will. Like, you're looking at those events, they're very comfortable events for Mark. But I have to stick with Iron Bibby, Evan and Alexei as my top 3.
which interestingly was the podium last year. There are still some tickets available to this competition. It's on the 9th of July at the Royal Albert Hall. We will of course be there. We wouldn't miss this one, would we, Lozzie? And link to tickets is in the video description below.